you will never outperform the story you believe about yourself. And this is the secret that underlies every plateau, every stall, every season of self-sabotage. You see, you can train all day. You can know the numbers. You can lead the meeting. You can even quote the mission. But the story that's running in your head sounds something like, I don't know if I can cut this. Then you will default to doubt, even when there's opportunity all around you. And here's the hard part. You don't even know that the story is running in the background. But today, we rewrite that story. Today is the final fire in the Turning Pro series, and maybe the most important one. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. Episode 86 on Monday, we buried the amateur. Today, we raised the professional. Let's go there. A GM that I coached, let's call him Rob. He had all the tools, smart, respected, and ran a strong store. But his culture was a little shaky, and his leadership presence felt off. And every time he had to coach someone harder, hold the line, make a bold move, he kind of pulled back. So I asked him, what do you say to yourself when things get hard? And in a moment of real honesty, like brutal honesty and vulnerability, he just dropped his head and said, I'm a really good closer that maybe just got promoted too far. There it was. That's it. That's the story. But let's go deeper. That voice inside Rob's head, that wasn't just doubt or insecurity. That was what Phil Stutz calls part X, that inner voice that is always trying to shrink you. Whispers, you're not ready. You can't do this. You're just going to screw this up. Who the hell do you think you are? Part X is universal. You have it. I have it. Every top performer has it. And its job is to keep you from growing. It's to keep you distracted, defensive, and dependent. I love this quote from Phil Stutz. Part X doesn't want you to evolve. It wants you to stay the same. And that is why rewriting your story is not just motivational, it's a weapon. Because when you're under pressure, you don't rise to your goals, you default to your internal script, your internal story. And if that script is being ghost-written by Part X, then you'll find yourself self-sabotaging at the exact moment that you need to be stepping up. That's why we need to flip the script on purpose and with practice. This is what we've been building to all week, because the only thing more powerful than Part X is your pro identity, forged in fire and repeated until it becomes your default operating system. Let me share with you an amazing tool called the Identity Loop, a 3-step process to rewrite your story, anchor your truth, and lead like a pro. Step 1, spot the lie. Write down the amateur story that's been running your internal script. I'm not a real leader. I hate confrontation. I'm too new. I'm just trying not to screw up. Step 2, write a pro script. Craft one bold identity statement, clear, powerful, and personal. I build clarity under pressure. I coach courageously, even when it's uncomfortable. I bring the temperature up when my team starts to cool down. Then ask yourself this question: how do I know that's true? And write down 3 examples when you lived this truth, even if it was just a little. Maybe it's something like, I ran the hardest meeting of the month and didn't flinch. Or I said what needed to be said when others stayed quiet. Or I coached instead of closing and helped someone level up. And this is where your belief starts to take root, because it's no longer wishful thinking or just an affirmation. It is based in evidence of its truthfulness. Step 3, practice daily. Say your new identity statement out loud every morning for the next 30 days. Write it down. Put it on your mirror. Put it as a wallpaper on your phone. Whatever you need to do to see it and remind yourself every single day. Because this isn't just a mindset tool or a little affirmation or a gimmick. This is a contract with the professional version of yourself, the one that decided to go pro. Because when the pressure hits and things get hard, hype and hope are not enough. What you do is you default to the person that you have trained yourself to become. Let me land this entire series with one last quote from Steven Pressfield. What you and I are really seeking is our own voice, our own truth, our own authenticity. You found part of that this week. You buried the amateur. You faced the resistance. You burned the comfort trap, and you built a practice. And today you rewrote your story. And so if this hit home for you and you know someone who is stuck in amateur mode, please forward on the podcast, share it with them, teach them how to turn pro. Because here's what I know, we all teach best what we need to learn most. And the best way to get better at something, at any new practice, is to teach it to another person. So please start today and use everything from this week. If there are any activities or challenges that you skipped, go back and redo them and finish strong with this idea of what are you going to do to build your pro identity, and then show up and train that person every single day so that your default is never to part X and it is always to your pro identity. And with that, have an incredible weekend, crush it at home, crush it with your family, and I will see you Monday in the dealership war room.